If this man's image doesn't scream caution, there's something wrong with your perception.
He marched out of Covington High with swagger in his stride. Dreamed of LSU glory, but the textbooks he denied. 5 years in the classroom, yet no diploma came. Dropped out twice, left empty, just bluster and a name. Oh, the halls of academia never saw him shine. No thesis, no degree, just excuses every time. And when Congress asked for truth in Epstein's sordid files, Clay alone said no, protecting shadows with a smile. He wore the badge in all Palousas, Port Bear too, but discipline and protocol were things he never knew. Short fuse, long sermons, a cop with restless hands, and later in the House he'd shield Epstein's dark demands. Then came Crime Stoppers, his pulpit on the screen, a sheriff's deputy preacher, half cop and half machine. He thundered at the guilty with scripture in his eyes, yet voted no on sunlight, keeping Epstein's secrets lies. Cajun John Wayne, the nickname stuck like glue. A cowboy with a Bible, promising to pursue. When the nation sought the truth of Epstein's shame, Clay stood alone against it, protecting nameless names. Sheriff Gidrow shook his head, said, Clay, you've gone too far. Your badge is not a stage prop, nor your uniform a star. And later in the chamber, when justice took the floor, Higgins slammed the door shut, one no against the score. In Opelousas, whispers told a force beyond the line, reports that didn't match his tales, discrepancies in time. And just like those reports, the Epstein files he blocked, truth denied by Higgins, the vault forever locked. Port Bear knew his temper, the insubordination too. A cop who wouldn't listen, who thought he always knew. And in the House he echoed that same defiant tone. One man against transparency, a solitary no. Then Congress opened doors, and Clay came marching in, with no degree, no record, just a preacher's crooked grin. Oversight and law enforcement committees in his hand. Yet when Epstein's truth was called, he chose the dark to stand. He tweets of holy battles, of vaccines as a plot, of enemies and demons, of conspiracies he bought. But when survivors asked for justice, for secrets to be shown, Clay Higgins turned his back, their pleas met with his no. Bills he sponsors falter, they vanish into air. Thin record, hollow speeches, no progress anywhere. And when one bill had meaning, Epstein's files to free, Clay alone opposed it, denying history. fear the bravado, the cowboy with the cross. But governance requires more than anger and gloss. Theatrics win attention, but they cannot build a law. And Higgins shields the guilty, a flaw within the flaw. He claims to fight corruption, to guard the nation's gate. But oversight demands rigor, not bluster or debate. And when corruption's darkest tale stood ready to unfold, Clay Higgins said not yet, and left the truth untold. Education abandoned, law enforcement in disgrace, controversies unending, a record hard to face. And now his vote on Epstein cements his legacy, a man who guards the shadows, not transparency. So here's to Cajun John Wayne, the legend he designed, a cowboy cop turned lawmaker with little else behind. No degree, no achievements, just a viral video fame, and one low no on Epstein, his everlasting shame. And when history writes its chapters, his story will be told of a man who chased the spotlight but let substance grow cold. A cautionary ballad sung with bitter refrain, the rise and fall of Higgins, the foe John Wayne.
Hello, my name is Zurzu Zyklin, and welcome to my channel. How's everybody doing today? I forgot what I was going to say. Wow, how did that happen? Anyway, so we're going to cover, I guess, Clay Higgins, Representative Clay Higgins. Oh, that's what I was going to say, is Donald Trump signed the bill to make the Epstein files available. So now we have the Epstein files. I guess we'll see what they do with them. Anyway, so this guy, Representative Clay Higgins, Republican, was the only person that voted against releasing the Epstein files. Now, I wonder if he's kind of like related to Frieza from Dragon Ball Z. Or maybe if he got into Trump's makeup box and tried to paint some hair on his head. You know, you see the boss do it, maybe it'll work for you too. Anyway, so what's my plan today? As I said, after I got off work today, last night I woke up randomly in the middle of the night and I completely changed everything I was writing. It was getting too full. It was some 40 some paragraphs, so it was just getting too big. So I broke it down a little bit, and while I did that, of course, I wrote a little song. I haven't written a song for a while. Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and get into reading that. It is a full breakdown of Representative Clay Higgins. It's, let's see. Representative Higgins of Louisiana 3rd Congressional District has fashioned himself as a populist firebrand, a Cajun John Wayne, who claimed to speak for the common man. Yet beneath the theatric lies a troubling record of educational failures, professional misconduct, and legislative incompetence. Let me get a drink of coffee. For some reason, I'm all stumbly. My report will examine Higgins' background in detail, exposing the gaps in his qualifications, the controversies of his law enforcement career, and the hollow nature of his congressional tenure. Educational failures. Higgins graduated from Covington High School in Louisiana, but never completed a college degree. He attended Louisiana State University, LSU, during two separate periods, 1979 through 1983 and 1989 through 1990, but dropped out both times. Despite spending 5 years enrolled, Higgins left LSU without earning a degree. His absence of academic achievement is glaring in a Congress where most members hold advanced degrees. His lack of higher education undermines his credibility in policy and debates. Complex issues in economics, law, and natural security demand analytical skills, typically honed through academic training skills that Higgs demonstrably lacks. Higgs' educational shortcomings are compounded by his committee assignment. He sits on the House Oversight and Accountability Committee and chairs the Subcommittee for Federal Law Enforcement, roles that require deep knowledge of law and governance. Without a degree, Higgins relies on bolster and populist rhetoric rather than evidence-based policymaking. His speeches are theatrical but shallow, betraying a lack of intellectual rigor. His failure to complete college also raises questions about perseverance and discipline. These traits are essential for public service. Yet Higgins abandoned his academic journey twice. When advocating for educational reform, Higgins' voice rings hollow. How can a man who failed to complete his own education credibly champion improvements for others? Compared to colleagues with law degrees, MBAs, and military academic training, Higgins is outmatched. His resume is devoid of scholarly publications, professional development, or intellectual achievement. Hello, Katie D. How are you? I imagine if people start just dropping out names and not caring who they are referring to, that it could possibly affect innocent people. But I think the innocent people he's talking about are the innocent people that went to Epstein Island. Just the way that he says it, I've heard how he claims it. Where was I? And by the way, hello. Glad to see you're here. I'm doing good. I ran around a little bit today. Had to wait at the doctor's office a little longer than expected. They could have probably put that a little bit earlier or a little bit later because he was kind of busy. Okay, educational failures. I already went through that. Sorry, I got a little distracted here. Law enforcement careers. Higgins' law enforcement career spanned multiple agencies, including Opelousas Police Department, Port Bree Police Department, and St. Laundry Parish Sheriff's Office, Lafayette City Marshal's Office, and the Louisiana Department of Justice. He also served in the Louisiana National Guard as a military police officer, attaining the rank of staff sergeant. His military background bolstered his law and order persona. His most famous role was with the St. Laundry Parish Sheriff's Office, where he became the face of Crime Stoppers program. Higgins' Crime Stoppers videos were theatrical, confrontational, and laced with religious rhetoric. He addressed suspects directly, warning them of capture and divine judgment. These videos earned him the nickname the Cajun John Wayne. His stern delivery and biblical reference resonated with some viewers, but alarmed professionals. The videos went viral, gaining millions of views and national media coverage. Higgins became a minor celebrity, appearing on cable news and talk shows. Supporters praised his candor and emotional resonance, arguing that he humanizes law enforcement and galvanizes community support. Critics, however, warned that his confrontational tone blurred the lines between public service and self-promotion. Some feared his rhetoric could escalate tensions or compromise investigations. Higgins also engaged in community outreach, speaking at schools, churches, and civic events. He positioned himself as a moral authority, blending politics with evangelism, a word that I can't say right now. His law enforcement persona was not just professional, it was performative. He cultivated a brand that was equal parts enforcer and preacher, laying the groundwork for his political career. Now we'll see what's happening in the chat. Yeah, it's kind of good to know, you know? So, why does it keep changing? Every time I move it to look at the chat, I end up losing the place where I was. So his resignations and internal disputes. Higgins' law enforcement career was marred by disciplinary issues. He faced complaints of excessive force, insubordination, and failure to follow reporting protocols. At the Opelousas Police Department, Higgins resigned in 2017 amid disciplinary measures. Internal records revealed discrepancies in his account of use of force incidents. Opelousas Police Department, 2007, disciplinary issue. Clay Higgins' tenure with the Opelousas Police Department, OPD, ended abruptly in 2007 when he resigned on the cusp of a major disciplinary measures. According to the then police chief, Perry Gallo, Higgins had become a liability to the department due to reported infractions and insubordination. One of the most notable incidents involved Higgins' alleged roughing up a young black man during a SWAT operation. Internal affairs records revealed that Higgins used unauthorized force far beyond that he admitted publicly. This discrepancy between his account and official records raises serious concerns about his honesty and accountability. Higgins also faced scrutiny for failing to properly document use of force incidents. Accurate reporting is a cornerstone of police accountability, and his failure to comply with these standards undermine both departmental integrity and public trust. The Opelousas police chief later stated that Higgins' public retelling of these events was misleading, and fact-checked revealed inconsistencies in his narrative. This pattern of exaggeration and omission foreshadowed the theatrical persona he would later adopt in his Crime Stoppers videos. Ultimately, Higgins resigned rather than facing disciplinary action. His departure was framed by him as a matter of consciousness. But internal records suggest it was a forced exit due to repeated misconduct. In Port-au-Brie, Higgins developed a reputation for being confrontational and resistant to oversight. His short temper and insubordination created friction within the department. Port Bree Police Department, earlier career issues. Let's see what we got going in the chat. Before his time in Opelousas, Higgins served with the Port Bree Police Department, where he also encountered disciplinary problems. Reports indicate that Higgins had a reputation for being confrontational and resistant to departmental oversight. Colleagues described him as having a short fuse, which often translated into aggressive policing tactics. While some in his community admired his tough-on-crime stance, others worried that his behavior crossed professional boundaries and risked escalating situations unnecessary. Higgins' tendency to operate outside the chain of command created friction within the department. Survivors noted that he often resisted directives, preferring to act independently rather than as part of the coordinated team. This pattern of insubordination mirrored later disputes in Opelousas and St. Laundry Parish. It suggests a broader issue with Higgins' ability to function within structured law enforcement environments, where discipline and accountability are paramount. Though less publicized than Opelousas controversies, Higgs' time in Port Bree contributed to a growing record of internal disputes that followed him throughout his policing career. At St. Laundry Parish Sheriff Office, Sheriff Bobby Guidros, I think that's pronounced, describes Higgins as a liability. His refusal to tone down Crime Stoppers' rhetoric violated department policy. St. Laundry Parish Sheriff's Office pre-resignation conduct. Higgins' most famous law enforcement role was the St. Laundry Parish Sheriff's Office, where he became a face of Crime Stoppers. While his videos made him a local celebrity, his conduct within the department was far from contentious. I need to get a drink of coffee. We're going to take a break for a second and get a drink of coffee. You know, I could probably just move the chat over here. I didn't even think about that. Doot. I believe Tom mentioned that he saw a video. I didn't ask him where the video was, primarily because I knew this was going to be kind of long enough with just what I have in my report that I wrote. I may ask Tom to play the video for me later. I haven't seen it yet. I just got some coffee, and let's go. Sheriff Bobby Guidros. Guidorz. So we're just calling him Guidros. That works. Sheriff Bobby Guidros repeatedly warned Higgins about his unprofessional comments and confrontational style in Crime Stoppers segments. Higgins' refusal to tone down his rhetoric was seen as insubordination and a violation of department policy. Beyond the videos, Higgins faced internal complaints for excessive force and failure to follow reporting protocols. These issues echoed the problems he had in Opelousas, suggesting a consistent disregard for procedural standards. His clash with supervisors escalated to a point where Guidros described Higgins as a liability to the department. The sheriff emphasized that Higgins' behavior was not aligned with professional law enforcement conduct and risked damaging the department's credibility. Although Higgins ultimately resigned in 2016, his departure was preceded by years of internal disputes and disciplinary concerns. His narrative of leaving on principles obscured the reality of repeated professional failings. Higgins' resignation later framed his departure as principled straight against censorship. In reality, it was a forced exit driven by repeated misconduct. Internal records show Higgins failed to properly document use of force incidents, undermining transparency and accountability. His clashes with supervisors revealed a pattern of defiance. He resisted oversight, challenged reviews, and operated outside the chain of command. These behaviors raised serious questions about his fitness for leadership roles. Higgins consistently prioritized personal branding over institutional integrity. As far as his public controversies, Higgins' political career has been defined by inflammatory statements. He has made headlines for conspiracy theories, including claims that Vac 19 were part of government plot. He has posted incendiary social media content, including calls for armed resistance and rigorously charged warnings to political opponents. His rhetoric often crosses into authoritarian territory, framing political disputes as battles between good and evil. Higgins' public controversies have overshadowed his legislative work. He is better known for viral videos and tweets than substance policy contributions. His confrontational style appears to a narrow base, but alienates broader constituencies. In undermining his ability to build coalitions or advance legislation, Higgs' controversies also erode public trust in Congress. His behavior reflects poorly on the institution and diminishes its credibility. Legislative overlook. Higgins' legislative record is thin. He has sponsored very few bills, and even fewer have passed. His policy footprint is negligible, if not negative. His committee work is undermined by his lack of academic training and professional discipline. He struggles to engage with experts often relies on bolster. Higgins' legislative outlook is dismal. He lacks the intellectual tools, professional credibility, and coalition building skills necessary for effective governance. His reliance on theatrics over substance ensures that his contributions will remain marginal. He is a performer, not a policymaker. Higgins' career reflects a broader dysfunction in American politics, where outrage and spectacle ellipses the merit of expertise. Ultimately, Higgs is underqualified and ill-equipped, and emblematic of a troubling trend. The rise of lawmakers who substantiate charisma for competence is leaving the nation poorly served. And that's pretty much what I have written in that little article there. I still think this guy looks like Frieza. Either that or he's been playing around in Trump's makeup bin. Isn't it? It is a little crazy seeing that he's messed up that much in law and that he really doesn't like oversight at all. It's just kind of amusing, I think. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and pull this down. I'm glad I wrote this song. It's a little different, but I wanted to give it that tribal feel, you know, to go with the whole tribal governance thing that's happening. As always, you guys are awesome. Special thank you to KDD. She seemed to be the only one that made it interesting with me. You guys are awesome. Remember, you don't have to be wise. Just don't submit to stupid. Thank you very much and have a good day. Additionally, what did he think he was going to accomplish by voting no? He was the only one there that voted no. You don't think you're going to get a finger pointed at you, bud? Bye, guys.
He marched out of Covington High with swagger in his stride. Dreamed of LSU glory, but the textbooks he denied. 5 years in the classroom, yet no diploma came. Dropped out twice, left empty, just bluster and a name. Oh, the halls of academia never saw him shine. No thesis, no degree, just excuses every time. And when Congress asked for truth in Epstein's sordid files, Clay alone said no, protecting shadows with a smile. He wore the badge in Alpaloosas, Port Bear too, but discipline and protocol were things he never knew. Short fuse, long sermons, a cop with restless hands, and later in the House he'd shield Epstein's dark demands. Then came Crime Stoppers, his pulpit on the screen, a sheriff's deputy preacher, half cop and half machine. He thundered at the guilty with scripture in his eyes, yet voted no on sunlight, keeping Epstein's secrets lies. Cajun John Wayne, the nickname stuck like glue. A cowboy with a Bible, promising to pursue. When the nation sought the truth of Epstein's shame, Clay stood alone against it, protecting.
We're going to stop this on verse 6 and then play it on from verse 6. Tom just kind of turned me on to a video here. Let's look at this. Share screen. We'll go with this one. Open this up. Hopefully that's sharing audio as well. Wait, let's stop sharing real quick. I'll just go ahead and share it again. What just happened here? Trying to get this video going for you guys, but I think I just closed it. Duh. No, it's here. Okay. There we go. Pull that down. Move that over there. Make this big screen. Oh, detach this. Not doing this very smooth, am I here? Been good to see you here, Cardi Blanche. Let's pull this up. Uh-oh. Apparently, this is Representative Higgins grabbing a protester.
Video went viral of Congressman Clay Higgins removing an activist from a newspaper who issued a statement on the matter. Devin DeStefano has the story.
What is your name? I'm Clay Higgins. I represent South Louisiana.
Clay Higgins.
All I'm asking you to do is just peacefully stand by with your camera. And I promise you, look at me. I'll come talk to you straight up and answer all your questions.
Higgins said he was able to de-escalate the situation and was unsure why Capitol Police weren't there. But seconds later, the protester returned while Congresswoman Lauren Boebert was speaking. Higgins said it felt like a threat, so he took action.
The results of Biden's failed foreign policy is absolutely astonishing. The Biden administration plans to surrender U.S. sovereignty to unelected bureaucrats at the World Health Organization.
He then showed another angle, showing the protester trying to get closer to the podium from behind.
No, you're out. You're out. You're out. You're out. You're out. Aren't you a congressperson?
Get off. Capitol Police would come soon after and take the protester away. Higgins maintains the activist had some kind of mental health issues and he handled the situation properly. Devin DeStefano, 7 News.
It is unclear how long the protester was detained by Capitol Police or if a complaint was filed. We'll continue to follow the story and we'll have updates as they become available.
Seeing the interaction, I guess I could have to say you could weigh either way on that one. Really, you could. I mean, the guy was kind of trying to push in to get to the podium. Of course, the ding-dong was just going to ask a stupid question. But it seemed like not only him, but several people were blocking him. You could kind of go either way on that one. Let's go ahead and continue the song.
Nameless names. Sheriff Gidrow shook his head, said, Clay, you've gone too far. Your badge is not a stage prop, nor your uniform a star. And later in the chamber, when justice took the floor, Higgins slammed the door shut, 1-0 against the score. In Opelousas, whispers told a force beyond the line. Reports that didn't match his tales, discrepancies in time. And just like those reports, the Epstein files he blocked. Truth denied by Higgins, the vault forever locked. Port Bear knew his temper, the insubordination too. A cop who wouldn't listen, who thought he always knew. And in the house he echoed that same defiant tone. One man against transparency, a solitary no. Then Congress opened doors and Clay came marching in, with no degree, no record, just a preacher's crooked grin. Oversight and law enforcement committees in his hand. Yet when Epstein's truth was called, he chose the dark to stand. He tweets of holy battles, of vaccines as a plot, of enemies and demons, of conspiracies he bought. But when survivors ask for justice, for secrets to be shown, Clay Higgins turned his back, their pleas met with his no. Bills he sponsors falter, they vanish into air. Thin record, hollow speeches, no progress anywhere. And when one bill had meaning, Epstein's files to free. Clay alone opposed it, denying history. Cheer the bravado, the cowboy with the cross. But governance requires more than anger and gloss. Theatrics win attention, but they cannot build a law. And Higgins shields the guilty, a flaw within the flaw. He claims to fight corruption, to guard the nation's gate. But oversight demands rigor, not bluster or debate. And when corruption's darkest tale stood ready to unfold, Clay Higgins said not yet, and left the truth untold. Education abandoned, law enforcement in disgrace, controversies unending, a record hard to face. And now his vote on Epstein cements his legacy. A man who guards the shadows, not transparency. So here's to Cajun John Wayne, the legend he designed. A cowboy cop turned lawmaker with little else behind. No degree, no achievements, just a viral video fame. And one low no on Epstein, his everlasting shame. And when history writes its chapters, his story will be told of a man who chased the spotlight but let substance grow cold. A cautionary ballad sung with bitter refrain. The